Hello, beautiful souls. We're just going to see what our old trusty Flora deck. Let's see what messages it has for each zodiac sign today. Okay, so first we'll start with Aries. Okay, so we're just going to shuffle these, and we'll first start with an Aries. Okay. Okay. So we'll pull one card for Aries. So we pulled the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is for Aries. I can read to you what that means. So the Queen of Wands is, so this card represents a powerful female figure full of energy and self-confidence. It may be, for example, a charismatic and strong woman who is also loving and able to share her knowledge and talents unsparingly, helping the consultant to grow thanks to her projects come to fruition. However, this card may conversely also symbolize an ambitious or possessive person who tends to manipulate, hinder, or belittle others. The upright meaning is determination, support, protection, practical skills. Okay. Now we're going to pull a card for Taurus. Taurus is the next in the zodiac here. Okay, so we got the King of Cups. So we got the King of Cups for Taurus, okay? I will hold up the picture once I get it. King of Cups for Taurus. So the meaning of this card is, this card represents an important man who plays a central role in our lives. He can be a loving partner, a friend who can always be counted on, an employer, or a serious, reliable, and fair colleague. He is a person who proves to be an emotional support. Harmony, generosity, maturity, and stability are the key words related to the male figure who is represented by this arcana. So upright meaning is loyalty, success, pleasure, pleasant events, wise counsel. Okay, that's for Taurus. And now we will do Gemini. So far so good. It was good reading. Gemini. Yeah. The King of Cups again. King of Cups. This card represents an important man who plays a central role in our lives. He can be a loving partner, a friend who can always be counted on, an employer, or a serious, reliable, and fair colleague. He is a person who proves to be an emotional support. Harmony, generosity, maturity, and stability are the key words related to the male figure who is represented by the arcana. Upright, loyalty, success, pleasant events, and wise counsel. Okay? That was for Gemini. Now we will move on to Cancer. Right? Cancer it is. So for Cancer, I'm pulling Page of Wands. We got the Page of Wands. So we're getting a lot of our major arcanas. So the Page of Wands is, this card represents a young person, this card represents a young person, or even just a spirit, or an inexperienced man who is entering life and is dominated by a great thirst of knowledge, or thirst for knowledge. It is an arcana related to movement, to small positive changes, to favorable news. On the negative side, however, it can indicate impatience, hasty and naive decisions, and also lack of initiative. So face up meaning is good news, sociability, vitality, and spontaneity. Okay, that was for Cancer. Now we'll move on to Leo. Leo's next in the horoscopes. So on to Leo, What does Leo need to know? What is Leo's arcana? Okay, let's see. Okay, you got the 8 of Swords reversed. You got the 8 of Swords reversed. This is for Leo. So the 8 of Swords reversed. This is the 8 of Swords reversed. This arcana tells us about a coming change. We can tell whether it is a positive or negative in the long run based on paired cards. The current situation may be related to dissatisfaction or suffering and appear to be inescapable. By wisely accepting what we cannot change, however, we can overcome the sense of helplessness we feel. No human being can oppose fate. We're upside down. Dangers, health problems, delays, and negative thoughts. That is not a good card. That is for Leo. Now we'll move on to Virgo. We're going to do Virgo now. What does Virgo need to know about its importance this month or for the week? So Virgo, we're going to... You got the 10 of Cups. Very good card, 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups for Virgo. So the 10 of Cups. This is a very positive card, particularly related to emotional and affective fulfillment. It signals a happy love life, but also a time when you feel truly appreciated by others and is satisfied with yourself. It can also indicate a lasting period of professional and financial well-being. So upright meaning is fulfillment, earnings, soulmate, economic satisfaction. Okay, that is for Virgo. Now we're going to move on to Libra, and then we got Scorpio. And then Sagittarius. What does Libra need to know for this month? Okay. You got the 3 of Swords reversed, Libra. So the 3 of Swords reversed, a difficult card related to loss and separation or a situation that will cause us problems, whether it pertains to our health, emotions, work, or affections. A phase of difficulty is undeniable. The coming troubles could also be very serious, but we do not have to endure them passively. Let us keep in mind that not all evil comes to harm, and sometimes change allows us to have a new perspective. So you got upside down meaning: fatigue, mistakes, sorrow, and heartache. I'm sorry to hear that, Libra. Now we're going to do Scorpio, Sagittarius. I'm busy. Just wait. He'll be back. Sorry, that's my son. Just wait. Can you wait, please? Sorry, my kids just... So we got the 7 of Cups for Scorpio. So this is a card that heralds a favorable outcome and a happy conclusion that completes a cycle. It may be a situation that is resolved after worrying us for a while, a reconciliation that comes after a long period of silence and detachment, a love that turns out to be destined to last. So face up meaning: important meeting, agreement reached, wish coming true, sincere affection. That's for Scorpio. Now we're going to move on to Sagittarius. We're just about done here. We've got a couple more. Sagittarius. Then Capricorn, and then Aquarius. Five of Swords is for Sagittarius. Five of Swords is for Sagittarius. This is a negative and not very reassuring card that speaks of black clouds looming over the horizon. It may be about heartache, a grievance at work that cannot be resolved, a health issue, or an economic loss. It is necessary to be ready to defend and fight back, even if the wind seems to be against you. So face-up meaning is losses, failure, tensions, forthcoming, and disappointments. Okay. Now we're going to do Capricorn, and then Aquarius and Pisces, and then we're done. So what does the forward deck want Capricorn to know this month? Let's just pull this, okay. Okay, so let's pull another card. It's for Capricorn. You got the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is, it is a time to reap the fruits of one's labor, energy expended. This is a dynamic card associated with the idea of growth, success, and goals can be achieved thanks to what you have built beforehand. But you have to be able to earn them by continuing to strive with tenacity and perseverance. And we need to enjoy what we have without thinking too much about it, because time flies. Face-up meaning positive changes, evolution, progress, favorable moment. Okay, that is for Capricorn. Now we're going to move on to Aquarius and then Pisces, and we're done. Aquarius is our next one. So what does Aquarius need to know this month? What does Aquarius need to know for this month? So Aquarius. Ooh, you got the Tower reversed. This is a big card. The Tower. The Tower reversed. This is for Aquarius. So the Tower reversed. So this card represents threats, nuance, nuanced business, economic difficulties, physical stress, problematic love, quarrels, depression, lack of help. Okay? That's what the Tower represents, reversed. And now we'll move on to Pisces, okay? Because that was a major arcana card. It's not very much. It's an easy one to read. We're going to go to Pisces. So what does Pisces need to know for the month? What does Pisces need to know for the month of June? Okay, so let's... We got the Five of Wands. So the five... I think we already pulled that one for someone earlier. So the Five of Wands, this card speaks of a strong but unpredictable energy. It heralds a phase full of changes and unexpected events, which may lead to positive outcomes and happy adventures, but also to conflicts with others and poor choices. Perhaps we will go through disappointment and failures that will cause us bitterness. If it happens, let us not forget that restarting is always possible. Upright meaning is contingencies, I can't say that word, sorry. Novelties, ambitions, and growth. Okay, that is for Pisces. And I would like for people to comment your zodiac sign below and let me know if your message resonates with you. Namaste.